Here we go.
Episode 38.
38, Prevails podcast. We are Sean and Danny from Prevail Strength and Fitness and Lean Strength Program, Prevail Adventure Club, and photography.
Gotta rename that. Okay.
I gotta figure out a photography brand for Prevail-esque.
Yeah.
Like a little thing of Prevail. Cool. Hey, if you are on YouTube, if you would like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, that'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Okay. And then let's talk about today how the listener,
Yes.
right, is the hero of our origin story.
Yes.
Okay. So
Prevails origin
of
story.
Prevail's origin story.
Yes.
And so let's talk to like why Prevail is where it is right now is because of how we started on purpose.
Yeah.
Right. Prevail started, we're coming up on 12 years in July.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. 2014 is when we're like
Wild.
July 1.
Yeah.
Like we are a business operating as a single entity,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And do all of its locations from there.
Yeah. And those of you who don't know, this was just you opening Prevail.
Yeah.
We had
by
just
myself.
started
Yep.
kind of dating.
Yeah.
And I did the photography for your
Right.
launch of
Yeah.
Prevail with
Yeah.
your logo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways. So yeah, coming up on 12 years.
Yeah. Version 1 of like 7 of logos.
Thank goodness, because
Yeah. Which also is a little bit of an evolution of our brand because
yes.
intentionally it became less and less and less about me. But at the beginning, it was only me doing it.
Sure.
So there's a little more of like Sean things because I didn't have any other like influence or any other like people to help get it to a better version of itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the reason that we created Prevail at that time, and the reason that Prevail is such a, you hate this word, unique process, right? Such a, there are very few other brands and processes like how Prevail operates.
Yes.
Right.
I agree.
And it's because in 2014-13, I was doing personal training from 2010, summer of 10 until then. I had been doing group-based bootcamp workouts as well. So my very first job in the industry was the summer of 2010 doing an outdoor bootcamp with 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 people, whatever it was. And it was all just like gross movement for time, move through space type of vibe. And I started doing personal training for Red Rock Fitness, which was like a big gym locally owned that would have been the early parts of 2011. I got a job as a personal trainer at their gym. And that same springtime, I started teaching there. What they called was, what was it called?
Sweatshop?
Sweatshop was the name of their like, their class.
Their class.
That you could do out of the gym.
Yes.
So it was a fairly templated, kind of like station-based minute of work, 15 seconds of rest, do these random things over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And I started teaching that, and I was doing personal training. So from 2011 to 14, I was doing both of those every single day. So I would have personal training clients, I would teach the group session, and some days literally would go like back and forth, hour to hour to hour of personal training client. It would end. I would go back into the room, teach the group fitness class, and then maybe go back to a personal training client. And I did that for several years. And the reason that Prevail, one of the main reasons I got Prevails was I had started to like manipulate what we could do in that templated class. At first it was taught to me like, here's the playbook, here's how you run sessions. You pick 10 to 15 exercises and you run off a clock and turn the music up and yell at them, you know?
Right.
Which I did a good job of yelling because I was post
assuming,
Marine Corps. Sean was good at yelling.
Yeah.
But every time that I was doing those, I was like, I enjoy this. It's fun that there's other people here, but I can't teach these people the things that I'm teaching all my personal training clients. Personal training clients would come in and you do, old school 3 sets of 10 bench press, and you would talk between your sets and you would have a good conversation, and then you would like do another set and you'd write it all down, and there's log books and but then the personal training at the same time is kind of boring.
Sure.
Basically, it's just hanging out with one other person for an hour.
Yeah.
And I kept like trying to manipulate little things along the way of that group class. And I got to a point where I couldn't control more of it.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't control the brand. I couldn't really control more of like the style of sessions that we're doing.
Mm-hmm. The basketballs.
Because and there's other things happening in that room. And the gym didn't really care much because they were like, whatever, if people are back there, great. But I couldn't really just do whatever I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
So I started like testing certain things in sessions, which helped, but it didn't really like, I couldn't really do whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
And what I saw was 2 years into that, I could see where my personal training clients were developing.
Mm-hmm.
I could see them measurably getting stronger. I could see them measurably getting more muscle mass. I could see them enjoying sessions and not feeling beat up. And on the flip side, the group fitness side, those people had their initial kind of progress of, I've lost some weight, I'm consistent with exercise, I've got some health metrics kind of changing. But then that room, they kept hitting a wall of either they were chasing fat loss or they wanted more intensity and more workouts. So the people in those sessions, they were coming in 5 or 6 days a week.
Yeah.
While my personal training clients were rarely coming in 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, there's got to be a better way of like taking the progress and individualization inside of a personal training client.
Mm-hmm.
And how can we get that as close to that environment with the group size?
Right.
You know, on the group side, I was like, I've got to get these people valuing more than just weight loss.
Mm-hmm.
Because they kept coming in more and more and more, trying to lose more and more weight. But they weren't changing anything else that they really wanted to, right? And we'll talk about nutrition down line because there's the next like big gap. So whenever we took and created Prevail, there was no session cap on the group side. Mm-hmm. So consistency was also a big issue because sometimes I would teach session, and you probably remember this because you were there in 13.
I think I started at the beginning of 14, maybe the very end of 13.
Yeah, it had to be midway through 13. Yeah. Somewhere.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
Something like that.
The
Fall of 13 or whatever. Where there was no, like, people would just, to get into the session, there was a paper sheet.
Yes.
So you'd come in and you would put your name on the paper sheet for that day. Well, some days, literally the sheet would have to be turned over, and there would be like 25 people in the room or 30 people in the room on one certain nights. But you didn't know that until the minute of. Mm-hmm. So I would literally have to change the session and add in exercises as people were coming in. And of course, they're coming in late, which changes like explaining what we're doing for the day. And it just got really out of hand. So one of the things that when I started Prevail was like, I'm going to limit the amount of people and so I can control it so that I can do better plans. Mm-hmm. At that time, I think it might have been writing up a workout for the day every day. Right. And then as we got closer to 14, I think I might have been doing, here's the workouts for the next 7 days. So Monday through Saturday, here's the plan. Yeah. And that was right around when I needed to take over because I was like,
I remember you doing the week plans. Yeah.
Right. Every Sunday I'd write out the next 7 days of exercises because I wanted them to make sense. Because I was like, man, people are coming 4 or 5 days in a row, but there's got to be like a variant in the way that they're coming in. There's got to be different focuses per day. You can't like be backing up the same pattern over and over and over again or the same intention over and over and over again. I was like, well, I have to change the amount of people in the room so that this can be predictable, so that the plan can get better, so that the workouts can get better. Well, in order to do that, I had to like cap the session. Mm-hmm. Well, the gym wasn't like, why do we care to do any of that stuff, right? So went 100% independent of the gym, and I was like, I'm going to take over this group session. It's going to be my own thing. It's going to be called Prevail, and I'm going to start doing strength training with these people. That's in 2014, right? Yeah. Lost a ton of people. Because they were like, we didn't sign up for structured strength training. We signed up for
to sweat
boot camp classes with a bunch of sweating. And I'm going to like, everyone thought we're going to add in strength training, and they all thought they were going to like gain weight.
Oh, for sure.
Because
Because this was like the bulky era of where like you lift weights and you're going to get bulky.
Peak.
Yeah.
Like this is before.
Yeah.
This is like barely, this is like CrossFit is exploding. Orange Theory is
people were
barely
not
getting on
happy
the scene.
when
No,
you changed it.
people
Which
were
we
not
had
happy.
been playing around with stuff at that point for like a while on what you were thinking about doing.
Yeah, 1 or 2 days a week. I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, let's try this and
Yeah.
let's try that. And
Yeah.
people would be like, oh, okay, all right, whatever.
Mhm.
You know, like specific time to practice doing pull-ups.
Yep.
Like strict pull-ups progressions in 2014.
Yep.
People we didn't have pull-up bars.
It was my least favorite day, and now.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because you had to slow down.
Well, yeah, and I had to get assistance.
You had to get help, and you had to like, we were doing partner assist chin-ups
Mm-hmm.
off of a set of rings.
Yeah.
So they were rings hung from the ceiling by chain
Yes.
in rings that had bars hooked through them
Yes.
to be pull-up bars.
Yep.
Because I think there's only like one pull-up bar or two pull-up
Mhm.
bars in the entire gym at that point. We were learning partner-assisted pull-ups.
Yeah.
So Prevail was like, I need more control so that I can really get closer and closer to a personal training environment. I think that's the first time that we put the binders together.
Yes.
We had a milk crate
that Jay gave.
bolted to the wall
Uh-huh.
that like stole from one of our restaurant friends. And I think there was like 7 binders in it.
Yeah.
And all my personal training clients had their own binders
Mhm.
in my office. And so I was like, well, these people need binders because they need to know what they've done last time to know where to go, because in personal training world, I was doing that anyways.
Yeah.
I was like, well, we have to bring the note taking and the plan
Mm-hmm.
into the group environment.
Yeah.
And that was really the first iteration of like
milk crates.
Prevail version 1.
Yeah.
That's the origin story of how this super blended, how personalized can we make the group format?
Mhm.
How heavy can we make the group format started in 2014? And it was because I was like, I love personal training. I love working out with this. Like, I love a
Mhm.
group environment. There's got to be a better way of getting these closer and closer together. And then we started,
Wild.
and then we started experimenting with lots of things from 14 until, probably 2018 was group session size, which was basically limited by marketing because it was forced, because we just didn't have that many people. And so we were like, well, how can we do the best for 8 people?
Oh, right.
You know,
Right. We didn't really start capping
I don't think we capped sessions
until COVID.
probably until COVID.
Because sometimes Saturdays.
Yeah. We didn't have enough people to have to worry about capping.
Yeah, we didn't have to worry about it. Saturdays were the only ones that would be like pretty busy, but it was the 2 of us most of the time.
Right. Yeah.
So it didn't matter, but
things just averaged around 8 to 12 people because that's all the people we had.
yeah.
We
Yeah,
never had an issue
that's
with
true.
like, but we moved into our own studio in 17,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason we moved into 2,100 square feet was because that was as close to the size of a half basketball court that was what we were renting out
Mhm.
from the big gym.
Yes.
So that size of space was like what we started learning from.
Mm-hmm.
And then we moved into Studio 1. It was like, I need to have the same total amount of space
Yep.
to serve the amount of average people that we're doing on a normal type of session.
Yep.
And we started experimenting with like 4-week programs, 8-week programs, 6-week programs. We launched the ABC schedule
Yeah.
in probably 15. I think it was 2015, 2016. We were getting into Strong First.
Yes.
And the Strong First programming
Mm-hmm.
was always a 3-day-a-week program.
Yeah.
An A, a B, and a C day.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy day, medium day, light day. And then you would kind of like rotate patterns.
Yeah.
We're like, how do we do that in group? Oh, we make every Monday, Tuesday A, every Wednesday, Thursday B,
Mm-hmm.
every Friday, Saturday C.
Mm-hmm.
And you would choose Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday or Thursday or Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
And we ran that for
Up until
years.
2022.
Yeah. And it worked great because it was predictable. It had structure.
Yeah.
You could balance a week. You could balance progressions. You could have repeatable sessions. You could have lots and lots of bonus, because that's, if I did a personal training workout, I would do the same thing. If someone came, personal training client, and they're like, I want to come in 3 days a week. Cool. Here's your 3 workouts. We're going to repeat them for 48 weeks, and then we're going to switch. And that's very good traditional program design. So we had to implement that into group. And then we started just doing all sorts of like testing of, we would do literally only 4 weeks of one style of movement, of like heavy lifting only for 4 weeks, or we would do bodybuilding for 6 weeks, or we would do a strength.
For a while, we did 8-week programs.
We did 8-week programs.
Everyone hated them by week 6.
Yeah, of like, oh my goodness,
but
the
it was
same
the same
workout.
3 workouts for 8 weeks. Like I know right now we do quarterly.
Yeah.
But
it was literally, I'm going to do the same workout Monday for 8 Mondays in a row.
Yeah, that's my kind of.
Yeah, which is phenomenal for progress.
Yeah.
For strength and muscle progress is phenomenal.
Yeah.
For variety, entertainment, and stickiness, it becomes real tough.
It's not a fan favorite.
It is really hard. But what we did see, as soon as we made that change,
to ABC.
As soon as we made the ABC change, what happened? People started making measurable strength progress.
Yeah.
People were like hitting PRs for the first time ever. They were doing new personal bests for the first time ever. And these are people who had been around for a while. Like they've been around for 2-3 years, and they had not seen measurable change in anything since their first weight loss. So we're like, oh, we're really onto something here. Like this is making a measurable change with people. And we started doing less and less and less personal training and more group training. And then over the years, that process of the group training just got tighter and tighter and tighter and better and better and better, because every 3 to 4 months we would experiment, test, learn, repeat. Lots of changing. The board that we have now was based off of the Strong First instructor standards. Yeah. So it was 5 patterns, 5 levels. And it was, I think it was just
hard to get to the next level.
It was so hard to get to the next level.
Once you were at one level, it was hard to get to the next level.
Yeah, it would take you like 2 years to go from level 3 to 4.
Yeah.
Because the gaps in patterns were so big. And I think it was pull up, I think it was get up, press, deadlift, squat, pull up, push up. I think it was those 5. Yeah. And it was like 5 different, because at the time we only had 5 kettlebells.
Oh, yeah.
So we had like 8, 12, 16, 24, and 32 were like the only kettlebells that we had. So everything was based off of the equipment we had in the room. Yeah. But we would see people get their very first press and be like, wow, I'm actually getting like way stronger. And we would measure it. All that to say, where Prevail currently is the iteration of that very first 2014. I'm going to stop teaching this group fitness class, this boot camp class. I'm going to take my personal training clients. I'm going to put them into the group world. I'm going to take my group people. I'm going to put them in individualized programs. And then how do you get that tighter and tighter and better and better and better and better? Because the listener is the hero of this story.
Well, right. That's what I was going to say. Like, ABC split is great. And there were people making progress and PRs with their chin-ups. But now that we've moved to this quarterly program, you're so much more likely to see more patterns that we see so many chin-up and press and push-up and, I mean, all sorts of PRs, because the A, B, and C was limited for a lot of people with travel and schedule. And like, if you miss a day A, you know, 3 out of 4, well, you've only done
60% of the program.
Yeah. Or yeah.
Right.
And really only like what, 15% of that, like those patterns. Right. So
if you think of a pull-up progression specifically.
Right. Yeah. So watching people go through that, it's just like evolved, and now they're crushing it.
Yeah, it's hands down the best variation we've had so far. Yeah. And it's been through testing and learning year after year after year after year, going, nope, it could be better. Yeah. Nope, it could be better. Nope, it could be better. People could make better progress. Yeah. They can have a better experience. They can have more flexibility.
More flexibility is huge.
Yeah. And as we've grown, we've realized that if you think about personal training and group schedule, you can make a perfect plan for a single person if you can guarantee that single person is coming in every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m. in a personal training environment for months and months and months and months at a time. But the actual execution of that is almost impossible for the average human because there's just too much going on, right? So on the group fitness side, you can think, well, we have tons of flexibility, right? You have 30 sessions to come to all week long. But if you don't add structure to that, they're just spinning their wheels and they're doing stuff to do stuff, but they're not actually moving forward with any progress. And that's why our variation of program design, execution, that's why the Power Pack onboarding is so important. Because we came from the personal training world. And we want to get those worlds as close together as possible. So the student who comes in now and says, I want to get stronger, I want to build muscle, I want to get in better shape, I want to be consistent with my structure, it's possible because the plan guarantees that progress. Because it's built around, you say you want to get stronger, well, you come in 3 days a week and I guarantee you're going to get stronger. And we're going to prove it every week. I mean, every quarter we're going to prove it. And we do. Right. And the flexibility of the group allows for higher overall average attendance because you can come into whichever day you want to, whatever time you want to. And as long as you're coming in week after week after week, you're going to see progress because you're still going to see the structure.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Our baby is not sleeping at night. Okay, hang on. Bye.
She is not sleeping at night. If someone asks, hey, how's AJ sleeping? I'm like, when she's not awake, she sleeps great. But you never know. I don't know. How there's people out there who say, oh yeah, I just sleep trained them and they go to bed at this time, wake up at that time. Our baby does not have that DNA.
We have great sleep habits.
We personally have great sleep habits. She does have great sleep habits of
No, we have built a great bedtime routine and quality of sleep.
But the girl don't want to.
She don't want to because she got FOMO.
She wants to wake up. She wants to see what's going on. She wants to check out the room.
She wants to flop around.
She wants to see where everything's at. And if she doesn't know where we're at, she loses her mind until she figures out where we're at. Then she calms down. She's got FOMO.
She's got FOMO. Bless her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hero of the guide story.
Okay.
So that's our origin story. That's Prevail. That's where it came from. That's why we are where we are at today.
And that's where we're at now.
Because of where we started from.
Yes.
Because that was our single goal.
Yep.
Make group experience as personalized as possible. And make group as heavy as possible.
Yes.
Allow for the opportunity for someone to get measurable strength progress. Allow for the opportunity for someone to measurably get enough volume of muscle,
Yeah.
And then we're going to sprinkle in some conditioning because it's important. But it is not Prevail's job to provide multiple days a week of cardio to you. Right? That's up to the individual. It's our job to say, here's a plan for you to get stronger, build muscle, and improve your VO2 max and resting heart rate by coming to our, interval days. Yeah, that's our origin story. That's why current Prevail students are the heroes of our origin story. And we're the guides to help them along their plan to get those measurable results. Which is similar to Lean Strength's origin story and to where, we started looking at nutrition coaching along that same timeline when people were, I'm not seeing the results I want and I'm coming in 4 or 5 days a week. And I was already having all these one-on-one conversations with my personal training clients about nutrition and habits and all those things. But I had the opportunity to have those conversations because we were one-on-one. In the group world, you don't have that opportunity because you're in a group world. And they're like, let's get to work. Let's get to moving. I don't want to talk about things. I want to move.
Right.
Right. And that's when we started layering in individualized coaching. That's when we started layering in workshops. I mean, I think we taught people how to make their macros in 2017 on a giant whiteboard. Of like, here's how many calories per macro. And this is like, I think MyFitnessPal just started and was just launched around then.
I remember downloading MyFitnessPal when I started at Red Rock. So, I mean, it had to have been like 2014, yeah.
Yeah. I think there's only like paid versions. Remember you would have to sign in as a Europe.
I still sign in as a...
To get the free version.
The UK, yeah.
UK free version. Yeah. There was definitely no AI. I mean, I remember doing food logs where I would manually look up inside of books how many calories were in things and calculate how much someone was eating.
That's wild.
So we started thinking, well, we have to have another layer of this process to go, look, we got to get away from blaming exercise for my lack of fat loss results.
Yeah.
We have to give exercise its value and what it can gain. And let's have a separate conversation about what's happening outside of the studio to talk about weight loss and fat loss.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I was one of those people that I didn't understand the connection.
Right.
I mean, I kind of did, but I didn't I didn't. I didn't understand.
No.
I'm like, how many things can I do to look different in the gym or outside of the gym? I mean, I was always trying to do everything all the time.
What does that mean?
Oh, everything. I remember you even had suggested at one point, do sprints. But you meant one time a week. And so I was getting up every day and doing sprints out in the neighborhood that I lived in and then going to work out that night. But I was drinking 5 days a week and, living off of chips and champagne or something. I don't know. I can't even remember all the things, but I learned a lot from tracking and then learning about you can't be dieting all the time if you want your body to look different. Because for a while I'd had a huge weight loss goal and I lost a bunch of weight, but I didn't really look any different. But that was also in the transition from you doing a boot camp to shrink training. So combining both of those for me made a really big difference. Right.
Yeah, because we started lifting heavy. Started chasing strength progress.
Heavy.
And then right on the flip side, you're like, oh, wait, my body's changing in the way that I want it to as well?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So it's not about just doing a whole bunch. It's actually about doing something with way more intent and higher quality and higher load.
Yep.
And my body's responding to this specific type of response.
Yeah.
And you went through your journey, and that's when you started doing, you lost your weight, started learning about, we really didn't have good data around muscle mass, but we had tape measure and we had pictures.
You had the calipers. You would do the calipers on me, and you would do them once a week.
Yeah.
Because I was I dived in.
Yeah. Right. And that's when you got into, precision nutrition.
Precision nutrition, yeah.
Right. And then that's when we started having separate conversations about, okay, I've made this transition from going from move, cardio, restrict, to, there's
I can eat carbs and lift heavy weights.
Right. And we went through the Eat to Perform.
Oh, yeah.
Which was all about, that was coming from the CrossFit competitive world.
Yes.
Where they were teaching people to fuel your body for competitions.
Yes.
And they were talking about how important carbs are and how important, and I had been studying nutrition for
long time.
I mean, I remember reading my first article on nutrition when I was 16.
Wild.
Right. So to this point, I was,
which I took 20 years. Intro to nutrition in college.
Yeah, which is nonsense. Yeah, that class is ridiculous.
Still rolling my eyes about it. Anyways.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, then went down the coaching side of nutrition. Well, but we really didn't. We kind of applied it, but we really didn't start actually applying it until 2020 with one-on-one coaching stuff. We had like the bandwidth to do it because we were shut down for 8 weeks.
Yeah, you had gone through your own journey, which taught you so many lessons.
Yes.
Layered with all the education we were getting at the same time.
Yes.
Put you into a position to be like, I can be a really good guide to other people because I understand the process. I've been through the process. I've educated myself about it from the other end of like how this works, why this works, habits and mindset and all those things.
All the things.
And then learning, well, here is 3 to 5 recipes that can get someone to where they want to go.
Yeah.
Instead of it being like, everyone must count macros.
Follow this meal plan.
Right. Right. Meal plans. Guys, you have no idea. Meal plans used to be literally printed out and manually researched. They were the worst. The idea of a meal plan is still the worst.
I followed one in college, I remember.
Yeah. No one ever follows them for more than 3 weeks.
Orange juice and egg whites for breakfast.
Oh.
Who gave me that? Okay, anyways.
That was freaking...
When I worked at UCO gym.
That old school
it was
wild
old
stuff.
School. Okay, anyways. So yeah. So with those two things, you watched a lot with your personal training and your group to go through that. I had a big transformation of my own, mentally, physically, that helped me guide.
Right now, be the guide to so many other people's stories.
Yeah.
And that's why when people come in and they leave reviews and they talk about Prevail and they come into consults and they say, this is like the best version. I've come from personal training and this is so much better. Or I've come from this bootcamp version and I'm so excited about the intention behind everything and the amount of coaching that we have in every single session because one-on-one environment, you have an hour straight of one-to-one conversations. In a group environment, you have slightly less, but then you have other people in the room. And when we limit our sessions to, we average 8 to 12 per session, roughly for most sessions on the schedule, that allows for an instructor to have a ton of one-to-one conversations, a ton of one-to-one coaching, or just a ton of one-to-one celebration of like, doing awesome. Keep going. Yeah. Love to see you. Can't wait to see you in 2 days or whatever it's going to be. So that's the origin story of Prevail. I don't know. Do we miss anything along the way?
Probably, but it's fine.
There's been so many like nuanced stuff in there.
So many things.
Basically.
But that's what brought us to what we're currently doing.
Yeah. That's the idea of taking personal training session and a bootcamp group fitness session, taking the best of both worlds, mashing them together so that the individual is getting the very best experience for a short and long-term goal. You're having the short-term, single bout of a session. I worked out with the people. I feel good. I had some like community vibe of not being solo. But then over time, you're still seeing the progress of all the good one-on-one individualization stuff. Yeah. And that's why you're the hero of our origin story.
Yeah.
Next steps, go to the website, schedule a consult. Your step 1 of your hero's journey is to just schedule a time for us to chit chat in the studio. And we can talk about how we do things, what your goals are, your past, where you want to go. Are we a good fit for each other? Yes. If we are, we'll talk about the best next step, best plan. If we're not, we'll try to refer you to someone else that might be a better step for you.
For sure.
And then same thing, if you are consistent with movement and strength training, but you want that layer of nutrition accountability and a nutrition plan and a guide, right? Then we can have the same conversation of like, hey, let's grab a quick 10-minute call and let's talk about, or where you want to go is how can I help you get there? And those do the line. This is how we best should suggest doing that. And comment, like, subscribe on all the channels. Share with your people.
Yep.
It is May of 2026.
Yes, it is. It's May of 2026.
So the next, your next 7-week macro accountability will be launching May 25th.
Yes.
I think that's when our And then our next summer special for the studio is launching May 15th to May 25th for 6 weeks, one-on-one onboarding, unlimited group sessions. So it's not a 6-week challenge.
No, it's like
it's just the trial version of 6 weeks of Prevail, and you can align that with 6 weeks of nutrition, accountability, and coaching along in the same way, so you get the best of all things at the same time.
Cool, I love it. Okay,
see ya.